Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. Going to be giving you a preview for the Manchester United versus Newcastle United game. It's at Old Trafford, it's this Sunday the 16th of October and it's a 2 o'clock kickoff. This will be a difficult game for Manchester United because Newcastle United are in form at the moment. Newcastle won their last game against Brentford 5-1. And not so long ago, they won away at Fulham 4-1. Newcastle have got some good players in their team. They've got Alexander Isak. Newcastle signed him from Real Sociedad. Alexander Isak is out with injury at the moment. Chris Wood, he's an attacking player for Newcastle. Newcastle signed him from Burnley. I thought Chris Wood was very good when he was at Burnley. He was also at Leeds before Burnley. Miguel Almiron, he's good. Alain Saint-Maximin, he's probably one of the best players that Newcastle have got. Jacob Murphy's an attacking player. Callum Wilson, he's a former Bournemouth player. Callum Wilson, of course, is reuniting with Eddie Howe at Newcastle. Ryan Fraser, he's also a former Bournemouth player. Jamal Lewis, Newcastle got him from Norwich. Sean Longstaff, he's a good midfielder, of course, brothers with Matty Longstaff. Lascelles, he also plays for Newcastle. Joe Linton. Newcastle have Emil Kraft. He's out with injury at the moment. Matt Ritchie, he's also out with injury at the moment. Newcastle have Daniel Byrne. Newcastle signed him from Brighton. Kieran Trippier, he's a fullback. Newcastle got him from Atletico Madrid. Matt Targett, Newcastle got him from Aston Villa. They also have Sven Botman. One of the goalkeepers Newcastle have got is Carl Darlow. Now, he's out with injury at the moment. Another goalkeeper they've got is Nick Pope. They signed him from Burnley. And they've got two other goalkeepers as well. So they are a lot of the players that Newcastle United have got. Let me put into the equation that they've let players go. They let Federico Fernandez go. They loaned Matty Longstaff out to Colchester. They let Martin Dubravka go out on loan. Of course, he's on loan at Manchester United. Man United do have the option to buy Martin Dubravka for around 5 or 6 million at the end of the loan. Newcastle also let Kieran Clark go. So they are some of the players that Newcastle let go. Newcastle United's manager is Eddie Howe. He's been the Newcastle United manager for almost a year. He got appointed in as the Newcastle manager in November last year. Eddie Howe did sign a long-term contract at Newcastle. Before Eddie Howe managed Bournemouth, he was at Bournemouth for a lot of years. Well, he endured 2 spells with Bournemouth. He endured a spell with Burnley as well. Before Eddie Howe, Newcastle had Steve Bruce. Of course, Newcastle ended up sacking him. And before they had Rafa Benitez, he ended up resigning because he wasn't getting backed enough by the board. At one point, Newcastle had Alan Pardew. Newcastle United have become one of the richest clubs in the world. Obviously, with the owners they brought in, was it the Saudi Arabians? Newcastle's ex-owner is Mike Ashley. He was at Newcastle for around, 13 years. And for such a long time, all Newcastle fans were demanding Mike Ashley out because he destroyed the club, basically. Manchester United beat Newcastle at Old Trafford last season 4-1. Manchester United are coming into this game on the back of a 1-0 win against Omonia Nicosia in the Europa League. Scott McTominay scored in the 93rd minute of stoppage time. So he saved Manchester United from humiliation. You know, Man United almost got embarrassed twice by Omonia Nicosia because we had to come from behind to beat them away 3-2. Scott McTominay, give him credit though for getting the winner. McTominay won't be playing in this game against Newcastle as he is suspended. In the game against Omonia Nicosia recently, Man United had a total of 34 shots, and we had around 12 or 13 on target. Rashford squandered several chances. Fred had some opportunities. Casemiro, he had a headed chance and he also hit the crossbar. I do recall Anthony having a chance in the game. Ronaldo, he had some chances, but for the vast majority of the game against Omonia Nicosia, Ronaldo was anonymous. But credit to the Omonia Nicosia goalkeeper, he made some fantastic saves yesterday night. He was a boyhood Manchester United fan, was Uzio, if I've pronounced his name correctly. I apologise if I haven't pronounced his name correctly. Manchester United did win their last game in the league against Everton 2-1 at Goodison Park. And reflecting on that win against Everton, Man United have won 5 of the last 6 league games, and we ended Everton's 2-game winning run. But like I say, Man United do have players missing. And Wan-Bissaka is out with injury at the moment, but he doesn't get in the team anyway because Diego Dalot is our first choice right back. Martial's injured. Obviously, he missed the game against Omonia Nicosia recently. Martial came off injured in the first half in the game against Everton, but he did get an assist in that game before he went off injured. He had to be replaced by Ronaldo in that first half. Like I said, McTominay suspended for this game against Newcastle. Harry Maguire, he's still out with injury. He won't play anyway because he's no longer one of our first choice centre-halves following the arrival of Lisandro Martinez. Brandon Williams is still injured. He's been out of injury for a while, but he doesn't get in the team anyway. Donny van de Beek's been out with a knock. Varane, he's just come back from injury. He didn't play against the Morning Nicosia recently. Lindelof started ahead of him. But after the game against the Morning Nicosia at Old Trafford, Erik ten Hag praised his side's creativity and scoring capabilities. Erik ten Hag said quite a few different things, hasn't he, after the last few matches? After the game against Everton, he called his Man United players to be more clinical after Everton win. And then when we won away at Morning Nicosia 3-2, Erik ten Hag came out and made an admission saying that Man United are not that good, because he knows improvements are needed. Erik ten Hag, I've not once prejudged him yet. I've given him a lot of credit in certain games this season because I like the way he's approached them. But there again, there has been some games where he's got decisions wrong. And I did say that after the 6-3 defeat to Man City. But Erik ten Hag needs time as Man United manager. This is his first full season. His expectations this season will probably to guide Man United to a top 4 finish, maybe win a trophy as well. It'd be nice to win a trophy because Man United have not won a domestic trophy since 2017. Erik ten Hag replaced Ralph Rangnick earlier on this year. He's Man United's 5th permanent manager since Ferguson. He's under contract with Man United till 2025. There's an option to extend for a further year. Not so long ago, ten Hag got named the Premier League Manager of the Month. Before Man United, ten Hag managed Ajax and he did very well at Ajax. At Ajax, he won Eredivisie titles, he won Dutch Cups, and revert back to 2019, he got Ajax to the Champions League semi-finals, developed the young players well, and before then, he managed Utrecht, Bayern Munich's reserves, and Go Ahead Eagles. Did Erik ten Hag. But yeah, he's been the Man United manager now for quite a few months. So far, he has made 6 signings as Man United manager. He recommended Terrell Malacia in, Lisandro Martinez, Christian Eriksen, Casemiro, Antony and Martin Dubravka. Man United have spent over 200 million this year. Ten Hag a few weeks ago revealed his transfer plans for January. He said Man United will continue to hold meetings over strengthening the squad. Ten Hag's going to get a transfer budget of around 70 million. The January transfer window will be second transfer window as Man United manager. Ten Hag has got rid of players, but despite that, he's still inheriting deadwood. We've seen a lot of players leave the club this year. As you all know, Mitchell van der Gaag and Steve McLaren at Man United, well, Erik ten Hag recommended them in, so they've been working alongside ten Hag. Benny McCarthy's still at the club. John Mertz and Richard Arnold are at Man United. Earlier on this year, Sir Alex Ferguson came back to Man United in an advisory role. And the Glazers are still at Manchester United, unfortunately. They've been a massive problem at the club now for such a long time. And for a long time, Man United fans have been protesting against the Glazers. The Glazers have owned the club since 2005. Don't forget, Sir Jim Ratcliffe came out and said that the Glazers don't want to sell Man United. Sir Jim Ratcliffe did admit, though, that he would have bought Man United this summer if the club had been up for sale. You know, Sir Jim Ratcliffe is Britain's richest man. He's the chairman of INEOS. By the way, the Glazers have set a price to sell Man United, you know, the 1.9 billion, which is a hell of a lot of money. And as you all know, if Erik ten Hag does not deliver the right results, you know, the Man United players are not going to turn on Erik ten Hag. They've decided who they're going to turn on, and I presume that's going to be the board. Like I say, 5 managers have left Man United since Sir Alex Ferguson. Of course, Man United sacked David Moyes. Then we had Van Gaal, sacked him after 2 years. We won the FA Cup under him. And then after Van Gaal, Man United had Mourinho. Sacked him after 2.5, 3 years. Won 3 trophies under Mourinho. So reflecting on that, you can say he enjoyed one good season. Then after that, had Solskjaer. Sacked him in November last year. He was a Man United manager for almost 3 years. And earlier on this year, Ralph Rangnick left. And Ralph Rangnick was Man United's interim manager for around 5 months. So there you go. But in the last 10 years, Man United have spent over £1 billion. We've only won, 4 trophies in the last 10 years. The last time Man United won the Premier League was back in 2013. That's almost 10 years ago now. But, yeah. That's everything to update you with. On my next video, I'll be giving you my predictions for this game against Newcastle. You know, score prediction, who I think is going to win. And then there'll be another video where I will be giving you my predicted 11. So anyway, guys, everything's updated. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always. And take care. God bless. And I'll see you all again very, very soon.